Bonjour everybody, welcome back to my studio. Today I'm going to talk to you about printer points. They are also referred as printer lights, and they were a way for color timers before the digital age to adjust the exposure or density of an image and the color balance, and also to create looks. Today we still have access to printer lights in DI, so in digital color grading, whether you're working on DaVinci Resolve or on Baselight. For example, I'm going to show you how to implement that, how it's going to be useful for you in your practice, and how it's going to help you grade without a panel. It's pretty powerful, so let's dive in. Today we are working on this shot captured on a RED camera. It's in log, and our color management is set up like that. We are in DaVinci YRGB color managed, and the color processing mode is in HDR DaVinci Wide Gamut Intermediate. Our output color space is Rec 709 Scene. If you want to know more about color management or why this is key in color grading and how to set it up, I have a guide that you can access for free. Link is in the description. First, I'm going to demonstrate to you how to set up printer lights and how they are affecting your image. And we're going to use the grayscale here in order for you to understand how this works. We are going to enable printer lights hotkeys. For that, let's go to Color tab and then select Printer Lights Hotkeys, and you're going to enable that. Then let's go to the Primaries tab and let's select the little bars icon here, and we are going to focus on offset. It is the same thing as the offset ball here, but for a more comprehensive representation, let's go to the bars icon. When I do that, my keypad will allow me to adjust the exposure and the color balance of my image. So I'm going to press plus on my numeric keypad, and you see that my grayscale is moving up like that, and we are increasing exposure when we do that, right? And you see that the relationship between my black point and my white point is preserved when we are adjusting exposure using printer lights. If I press on the key right below, we are decreasing exposure, all right? And you see that again, my grayscale is moving uniformly. Let's reset that. And now if I want to change the color balance of my image, I'm going to press 7, for example, which is going to add some red into my image. And this is going to behave again uniformly. It's affecting equally my shadows, midtones, and highlights. It is preserving that relationship. So when I do that on a log image, it's going to behave very closely like a white balance adjustment in camera. And I can add some red, I can subtract some red, I can add some green, I can subtract green, and I can add some blue or subtract blue. And with that feature, we can control very precisely the color balance and exposure of our image. And with these keys and the plus and the little button underneath, I can control very precisely the exposure of my image and the color balance. One thing to know is that if I press 7, I'm adding a full point of red, so it's quite a big change to my image. Same with plus for exposure. But if I hold Control and then press 7, I'm only going to add half a point of red or exposure or whatever. So this is going to be a finer adjustment. And if I hold Command, it's only going to add a quarter of a point. So even more finer adjustments. Now let's go back to our image. All the adjustments that we are going to implement here are in log, in DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate. In my exposure node, I'm going to press plus on my keyboard, and this is going to open exposure on my image. All right, so this is before, this is after. And now that we have a little bit more of an open image, I'm going to apply a look. I'm going to use my Pure Tone look library, go to the starter pack and apply celluloid. If you want to get the Pure Tone look library, you can access through the link in the description. You don't have to do that. You can use the film look creator, for example, if you want to drop in a look. So already it's looking pretty good, right? So that is the Rec. 709 image, and this is with our exposure adjustment and our LUT, all right? Before exposure, after exposure. Now, what we have is a very warm image, and we can address that if that's something we don't like. So again, I'm going to go into my printer lights and I'm going to press 4 on my keyboard. All right, I'm going to subtract some red again, and that is before, that is after. All right, I'm going to go back to my exposure node. I'm going to press plus, open up exposure a little bit more, like that. Just trying to find the sweet spot. Before, after. All right, so that is before our adjustments. So this is not the log image, it's the Rec. 709 image. My color management allows me to do all my adjustments in log, and then under the hood, it's converting my log image to Rec. 709. So that is going to be my first look, all right? And this is before my balance node, this is after. Now I'm going to create another version, and I want to go for a cooler vibe here, just to give you another look option that is going to work pretty well if that's something we are looking for. So I'm going to go into my printer lights again. Let's subtract some red again, pressing 4 on our keyboard. I'm going also to add some blue, pressing 9. So that is without our color balance adjustment, all right? And this is with our color balance adjustment. This is our previous version with the golden look. This is our second version with that cooler look. And I think both are looking pretty good. This allowed us very quickly to set up a look for our shot. We didn't even use our grading panel, only our keyboard shortcuts for exposure and balance. And the beauty in that is that these are very simple adjustments. It's not going to break your image. They are very organic. And you see the jumps in exposure and color, all right? When you use a trackball on your panel, and I'm going to do it right here, adding another node, and the adjustments are very gradual, okay? You don't really see the jumps in color, all right, or exposure, and it's harder for our eyes to spot the changes, especially when they are very minor, all right? If you use the half printer points or quarter, all right, I'm going to add a bit of green here with quarter points. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. Might be hard to spot on YouTube, but I could see tiny adjustments in color, and for very precise corrections we can use that, and that works very well. This is without our look, all right, so that would be the Rec. 709 image. I'm a huge fan of celluloid because when I drop it, you have instantly a beautiful film look in place that it's not going to break. It's meant to work in DaVinci Wide Gamut, DaVinci Intermediate, and I'm just very proud of the design here. If I want even more control over this look, I can go into my power grades and drag and drop celluloid here on node number 3. And when I do that, the 3 components of this look populate, so I have access to the contrast of this look, the split tone, and the 3D component, all right, which allows you to get even finer controls over this look. If I want to dial back the contrast, I can select node number 5. I can dial the opacity of my contrast LUT here. If I want less split tone, I can just add maybe 50% of the split tone, and so on with the 3D component. And this is going to be my new look. Before, after. Now, some of you have probably heard about the HDR global wheel, and this is something I usually show you in these tutorials. That is accessible right here in the HDR tab, and this is the global wheel. It's behaving more precisely than printer lights, but if you want to have the same level of precision, you can right-click on your node, go to Gamma, and then select Aces CC. And when you do that, well, there's a little bit of a change here, but you have a bit more snap in your image. You don't really have that fogging in the blacks that you have when you open exposure, for example. So it's a little bit more precise. For stronger adjustments, you're going to see even more of a difference. So, for example, here we have done quite a bit of a drastic exposure adjustment. If you are very picky here and you are using the HDR global wheel in your practice and you love it, well, I encourage you to use the printer lights, but to turn the gamma of the node in Aces CC like I've showed you. And I think we have a pretty good looking image. That was the Rec 709, and this is with what we have created with just a solid look in place and just a couple keyboard shortcuts. So that's pretty nice. Now I want to show you something extra that you can do with printer lights. I use that sometimes as well. I'm going to add another node after my balance node, okay? And I'm going to add some warmth into my image with my printer lights, okay? So this is before, this is after, but I just want this warmth to affect the highlights of my image. And to do so, I'm going to go into my qualifier tab and I'm going to do a luminance key. All right, so I'm going to press Shift H, and this is the region that my adjustment is affecting. I'm going to add a little bit of softness here, okay, about 5, 6, something like that, and I just want to target my highlights, okay? I'm going to press Shift H again. This is before, this is after. Before, after. And this is pretty powerful because we have the precision of printer lights, and we can also affect a very specific tonal region of our image. If this is a little bit too much, we can dial down here on the adjustment, all right? Before, after, before, after. Now I can reset that adjustment and I can do the same thing for my shadows. So pressing Shift H again, going to drag down my high limit here. Let's affect the shadows, add a bit of a high softness here, okay? And then press Shift H again, add a bit of cyan to my shadows. All right, so this is before, this is after. Before, after. Might be tough to spot on YouTube, but if I crank up the high limit, it's going to show even more. Before, after. So this was just a bonus tip if you want to play with all you can do with the printer lights feature. I think it's very powerful. I use it all the time. Feel free to use it and abuse it. You're gonna love it. Now, if you're looking to get a grading panel, you can look at the micro panel from Blackmagic. It's a smaller version of this one, and you have quite a bit of controls with it, and you can do a lot with that. So maybe look into that if you have a smaller budget. But until you get one, well, you can do a lot with that keyboard. Alright guys, that's it for today. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Please let me know down below in the comments what you thought about it. Also, feel free to let me know which topic you would like me to cover. Subscribe to the channel, leave a like to support the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Salut! Prenez soin de vous.